Go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new episode of Warm Yogurt on Your Back. I am Xavier.
And I'm Mr. J.
And Mr. J decided to pick the topic since I picked it last time. Basically, even though last time it was called Fanatics, what it was a bitching rant fest by Xavier. So this time, we're handing over the mic to Mr. J.
Tonight's episode, we are focusing on movies.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everything from indie to mainstream and everything in between. So, I'm actually going to start off this topic tonight because I just watched a movie recently that kind of really pissed me off, and it came from the indie film genre. And it kind of made all of us indie people look really bad. There's a movie called It Comes at Night. And,
but does it really?
You know, I rent this movie thinking it's porn.
I wouldn't blame you.
I was sadly disappointed. But what was even more disappointing is finding out that it was supposed to be an actual horror movie.
Ah.
And, yeah, this was actually... the most horrifying part about this movie was the fact that I will never get that 97 minutes of my life back.
The fact that you clocked it to the exact minute scares me away from it.
Yeah. I mean, the premise of this movie, it was post-apocalyptic, and it centered around a family of three that were isolated out in the woods.
Hold on, before you do this, are you going to give spoilers away?
You know what? I probably am, but I don't think anybody should ever watch this movie, so I'll just spoil it for you.
I'm just saying, if you do, you just say something as simple as, you know what? Spoiler alert, everybody. Still, don't fucking watch it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Now that we got the formalities
We're
out of the way. Basically, it's a family of three segregated out in the woods away from a post-apocalyptic world. It's a virus or some shit like that. And this stranger breaks into their house overnight, and they capture him because they think he's infected. And then it cuts away to the guy with his family living with the family of three. And then somehow they get infected. And then everybody gets infected. And except for the mom and dad of the original family. And the movie just kind of ends with them staring at each other at the dinner table. There is, like, no suspenseful terror. There's, like, they give creepy music when it's broad daylight out and the wind is blowing and leaves are rustling, but it's creepy music. And it's like, there's actually critics out there that rave this as the most terrifying indie film ever made. And
was there anything actually terrifying about it? Any monsters?
Nothing. There was no feeling of suspense or overwhelming terror.
Did anybody
there
get
was
killed?
Nothing. Only when they killed the infected people.
So basically,
and that was before they even turned into whatever the hell they were being infected with.
So they did what Walking Dead does.
No. I mean, The Walking Dead has went significantly downhill.
Oh, I know.
In my opinion.
Yeah, murder porn.
But at least they have zombies.
Yeah. So you went in thinking that it was a porn movie, ended up with your life being stripped away from you that you will never get back, and it wasn't even worth the idea of adding horror or suspense to the movie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did the actors actually get paid?
I guess. I don't know. They were a bunch of no-names.
Okay.
There was a dog in it.
So, having said all of this, you asked me earlier if I watched it. In fact, you wanted me to watch this. Why?
Well, yeah.
What the fuck did I ever do to you?
I wanted you to watch it because us as indie entertainers are trying to make a name for ourselves and for the indie industry.
Not by killing ourselves.
But the reason I wanted you to watch this was to get an unbiased opinion from you as to what you thought of this. And then we were going to get into discussion about it as to, like, this is the type of shit that's on the market now, and it's classified as indie.
Is there even any character growth? Someone that I can tangibly touch and think that's the good guy I want to live?
No, like, even the dog runs away halfway through the movie. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Smart dog.
And, you know, it's just one of those, like I said, I wanted you to watch it because I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Us being in the indie industry. Mm-hmm. This is why people don't take us seriously as indie entertainers, because this shit was put out on, like, I mean, in the full mainstream forum where you could get it at Redbox.
Yeah.
It was reviewed by actual film critics, but it's classified as an indie movie. I mean, there was no release at Sundance, there was no theater release, but I mean, fuck, even Target sells this in a wrapped DVD on the fucking shelf.
So it's professional-based marketing.
Exactly. I mean, they've got full-blown professional marketing, but it's like a 13-year-old wrote this movie.
So basically, all I'm hearing out of you is when we actually put our stuff out there, all we need is professional marketing, and we will actually write the new genre, the new world.
Yes, but
because our shit is actually good, along with the professional marketing.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things. It's so irritating that, you know, shit like this and the Blair Witch Project, you know, get so much raving as the greatest indie horror films ever made. And
what I didn't like about the Blair Witch Project was they got Discovery Channel involved in it. So much so that the Discovery Channel had to apologize for faking the lies about it. Because Discovery Channel came out and said, this is real. This story is real.
I don't know. I mean, that movie came out in what, like 98?
Well, yeah.
99?
I'm not suggesting that it's a good or bad movie. I mean, we can go ahead and discuss the actual parts of it. I mean, basically piss in a corner and there's a bad guy. You know, look away from me and piss in a corner. But, you know, the world's coming to an end, or he's chasing me with a little boogie coming out my nose. I mean, we can go down that route. But I hated the marketing of it because it was all based on a lie. If they would have posted it as a movie, it might not have sold. For the money that they made on it, used to make it, I thought it was good. Good premise. I'm not saying it's the greatest, not even close. But for what they were able to do, they banked it and landed it well. Now, once again, I can dissect the movie in every increment and tell you that things don't add up, things don't make sense, and honestly, it was a terrible ending. You got to give me some type of wrap up. All you gave me was a dude pissing against the wall. No, that's no.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
it's the same thing with Jeepers Creepers to me, though. Like, I love Jeepers Creepers.
Like, I hated those movies.
Well, let me rephrase. In itself, I like the idea of the creature, the character.
Right, but if they would have actually made it more realistic, like, make it an actual, like, old creepy-ass man that was a pedophile that kidnapped and tortured and raped these teenagers, that would be so much more terrifying than this fucking winged mythical creature that lives in a fucking well.
Right.
And this motherfucker somehow manages to have a driver's license and a registration on a vehicle so that he could get his license plate that says, "Be eating you." I mean, what the fuck is... What? I mean, really?
Well, they try to throw that up there as that was our little jest to the fans. And it's like, well, still, if you're making it off of a realistic point of view, that's not realistic in any way, shape, or form. Yes,
no, it's not.
And the fans are going to say, yes, it's a monster, so it's not real. True. But you got to come up with some type of backstory to show why the monster still exists, why the monster is real, why he exists in this world. You can't just...
Like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Was a real man that was burned alive, and he is the tormented soul of the dead pedophile that is haunting the children of the children of the children of the people who killed him. It makes perfect fucking sense. Wes Craven, fucking genius.
Yeah.
By far, the world of horror is in such a horrible place without a genius.
Cheers to
like Wes Craven is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact of Nightmare on Elm Street was that no film company wanted to make that movie.
Right.
No one wanted to buy it. New Line Cinema only actually manufactured film.
Right.
They never actually made movies. They only manufactured film. And they're the ones that bought it. And that studio was built off of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep. My problem with those movies, I love all of the old horror movies. I mean, cheesy, yes. B-rated, yes. Sure, why not? But
if I walk into it knowing that it is a cheesy B-rated horror movie, I can appreciate it
for what it is.
A cheesy B-rated movie.
Exactly.
But if you, like House of a Thousand Corpses, chalked up to be the scariest horror movie ever, I expect... Yeah, his first one. And I walked into it expecting so much out of it. It's like fucking Rob Zombie, a shock rocker, legend of fucking metal. Like, I expected so much out of him. And I sat down and I watched this, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Now, over time, I've rewatched the movie, and I've grown to appreciate the movie for the fact that it is, in fact, a B-rated horror movie.
Yeah.
Done in modern times.
What I like
about get that, them, and I can appreciate that now.
What I like about them is the originality.
Yeah.
There's something about, to me, nowadays they've made it too realistic, like Saw movies where you're seeing a dude up on the thing and you can hear his bones snap and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, that's gory, but I like the old movies where they went above and beyond and created a mystical world with mystical creatures and whatnot. One of my favorite movies is Nightbreed.
I've never seen it.
It is not a good movie. It's really not. But the idea of these characters, of what they are, amazes me. And if I was able to have the money to get the rights to that, I would do it in a heartbeat and actually make a really good film off of it. It's a fantastic storyline. It was just basically shit on. The script was horrible. But the idea has beautiful merit. Kind of like Star Wars and Darth Vader. The original 3 that we watched when we were little kids. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Vader, awesome. The man. The shit. Palpatine, same. And then you go to the prequels and you're like, Vader's a little bitch. I hate him. But I love the storyline of him as to why he went from...
I get how he became...
Right, and that's what I appreciate about it. But at the same time, you're just like, man, what a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, like that whole first movie, it was just like, I so wanted him to die, but I knew that if he died, we wouldn't have Vader.
Right.
It was just...
Yeah. So you can appreciate certain things, and then there's other things where you're just like, you're trying too hard, people. Let his character grow naturally. Don't try and force it. Like, I just felt that him immediately going to Palpatine and saying, I will serve you just to save my wife. It was too early, too fast, out of nowhere.
Well, and you know what? I think we could get back into that Star Wars segment when we come back from a break.
Okay.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of fanboys out there that want the opinions of other fanboys, and I'm sure, hopefully, maybe somebody will comment.
I'll turn this one into a Star Wars theme. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right.
So. All right. Well, we're gonna take a break, refresh our coffee, grab a fresh pack of smokes, and we'll be back with more movie stuff.
I'm Xavier.
And I'm Mr. J, and we will be back.
See you later, everybody.